Now this seems like a new nightmare that has started.
How come nowhere in the world people are getting black fungus, only in India? The root cause is not the COVID. Root cause is completely unhygienic way of delivering oxygen.
How do I make sure that the oxygen and the mechanism of delivery of oxygen is sterile and clean and is not going to get them sick?
The humidifier, see that it is sterile, sterilized, frequent intervals. Number two, the water used is sterile water, not tap water or other things.
And what is the course of treatment once detected, doctor?
One will be surgical removal of the black fungus, and then there's only one antifungal antibiotics available. It's called liposomal amphotericin B.
Thank you for joining us. Now, we've got a lot of questions from our viewers asking us about black fungus or mucormycosis, which we're reading about so much in the newspapers. Several people have started to get very nervous. There are also reports of a possible shortage of the drug that is used to treat this particular condition. Yes. We spent some time trying to find the perfect person to answer these questions for us. And Dr. Ramakant Panda has decided to join us. And he's really a brilliant voice, so I'm glad we waited for him. He's the Chief Consultant of Cardiovascular Thoracic Surgery, Vice Chairperson, and the Managing Director at the Asian Heart Institute. He's also a Padma Bhushan awardee. Dr. Panda, thank you so much for making time to talk to us.
Thank you. Really appreciate for getting me on your show so that at least we can let people know exactly what is the reason.
Yes. Yes. So, we went through this whole looking for oxygen, looking for beds, looking for ICUs, and now this seems like a new nightmare that has started. The Health Ministry has, as of today, cautioned people as well. Is there a reason, Dr. Panda, why this particular condition is affecting India? We haven't really read about it from other parts of the world.
Yes, I'll tell you the reason. Before that, I'm going to actually pose two questions. One is that we have been treating thousands of patients, rather lakhs of patients every year who are admitted to hospital with diabetes. They have got immune compromised, cancer patients, diabetic patients, they're getting steroid. We never had it for years. Probably handful cases last 10 years. People who have got transplant, kidney transplant, heart transplant, liver transplant, they're the most immunosuppressed. 50% diabetics, the diabetic patient getting immunosuppressant medications. They never got black fungus. Now, second question I'm also putting to our people that all over the world, people are getting COVID. Nowhere there's a black fungus. So the problem here is the main reason is having completely contaminated oxygen. And that is, unfortunately, COVID patients are getting very high flow oxygen. Normal patients, I'm asking the simple question. People who are getting kidney transplant, they're getting operated, they are on a ventilator, they get oxygen, they are far more immunocompromised, they get more immunosuppressant drug, including steroid. They don't get, never get mucormycosis or black fungus. Now, how come suddenly the COVID patients are getting? How come nowhere in the world people are getting black fungus, only in India? The root cause is not the COVID. Root cause is completely unhygienic way of delivering oxygen combined with, because unfortunately this patient needs very high amount of oxygen. And when you give very high amount of oxygen, you have to give it through water to humidify it. That water, if not cleaned properly, it has to be done every 12 or 24 hours. It has to be a complete sterile system. That combined with indiscriminate use of steroid, and that is what is the root cause. Steroid is not the root cause. Root cause is completely unhygienic way. And I hope the oxygen preparation also, it is equivalent, is like water is everywhere. You can have clean water. You can have a drain water also. If you drink drain water, you are going to get into trouble. And if you are drinking a clean water, you'll have a problem. Second part is same clean water, you can drink through a dirty glass or you can clean with a very clean glass. If you are drinking with a dirty glass, you are going to get into problem.
So Doc, let me just break this down and take it step by step. So if I have a loved one who's currently being treated for COVID, how do I make sure that the oxygen and the mechanism of delivery of oxygen is sterile and clean and is not going to get them sick?
Ensure that the humidifier, it goes through a water container through which the water, because you cannot give such a high amount of oxygen, it is going to dry up the entire respiratory tract. You cannot cough out the secretions. See that it is sterile, sterilized, frequent intervals. Ideally, you are giving so much high oxygen, 12 to 24 hours. Number two, the water used is sterile water, not tap water or other things. Quite often it is happening, probably it is not changed for days also. And make sure that of the entire the disposable component of that, when you are delivering oxygen, they are changed every 24 hours. You do that, there is very less chance of getting this disease. And the second thing, very important, that unnecessary use of steroid.
Is there a connection, and we've read about this everywhere, diabetes, people with cases of diabetes, existing cases of diabetes are more prone to black fungus. Why is that so?
Because diabetes, especially because only diabetes is not prone. If the sugar is very uncontrolled, now sugar gets uncontrolled if the patients are getting steroid and if they are giving unnecessary use of steroid. Because steroid is only helpful to combat the side effects or the reaction to the fungus, not to the fungus. Now, quite often the steroid is given before the fungus has, the side effect occurs in the first week of infection. During the first week of infection, the virus starts growing inside the body. During that time, if steroid is given, the body resistance goes down and the virus grows at a much faster rate, and that can cause more problem. That is what is happening. Steroid is given indiscriminately. Even steroid should only be given when the side effect occurs after 7 days, after the virus growth has stopped, and the body reacts to the virus and affects the lungs, etc. So if the steroid is given early, what is happening in diabetic patients? On top of that, steroid is given much earlier than later on. But more important is when this is combined with a very filthy way of, or dirty way of giving oxygen to the patient, that is what is causing this epidemic of black fungus. This is not there anywhere in the world, because other part of the world also patients have diabetic, they are getting steroids. How come nobody is getting? Now, same thing that thousands of patients getting treated every year, diabetic patients who are getting severely immunocompromised, they are also giving the steroid, they are not getting black fungus.
Doctor, should we now, if we have loved ones being treated, should we make sure that their blood sugar is being checked every 24 hours? Should we also, how does one know if the steroids are being overused?
Depends on the criticality of the patient. If the patient is not in the ICU, then probably twice a day is adequate. Whereas the patient is in the intensive care condition, they probably 4 hourly or 6 hourly, again will be determined by the diabetologist who is treating the patient, how frequently one needs to do. The bottom line is to get the sugar under control. How often to do will depend on the patient condition. The treating doctor should take a call on that.
But you should, as a family member or an attendant, make sure that blood sugar is being checked. And yes, the apparatus of delivery of oxygen is being cleaned and sterilized every 12 hours.
Sterilized, and the water has to be used only sterile water, and preferably every 12 hours it is changed, because you are giving very high flow oxygen, and make sure it is medical grade oxygen, not industrial oxygen. And I give the corollary of having drain water versus clean water.
Is there a shortage right now of the key drugs used in the treatment of black fungus in the country?
Unfortunately, because the number has gone so much, because of that, there is a shortage. Otherwise, before this epidemic happened, there was not a shortage of this particular medicine called amphotericin B. It was available freely. Because the number of cases has gone up so much, no country would have been able to do it. Because again, there's always, you see the demand and accordingly you produce. If the demand has gone up 20, 25 times, so overnight you cannot increase the production capacity. It's sure the huge number of cases has brought the shortage.
My understanding is that if caught early and treated adequately, that this black fungus is treatable and is not fatal. How does one catch it early? What should we be looking for?
First and foremost, the prevention. The most important thing is prevention, which I said is make sure that the steroid is not given unnecessarily, sugar is well controlled, make sure the oxygen delivery thing is properly monitored. Now, commonly because it is given to the mouth or nose, so common area affected are the nose, the inside the nose, palate, eyes. So if you have got any bloody discharge, especially blackish, you got a pain, aches, you have got the blackish discoloration about the nose, inside the mouth palate. If you see blackish discoloration, swelling of eyes, pain, and it also from there it can travel to the brain. You get headache, you can have a disorientation, etc. And also it travels to the lungs. It goes to the lungs. Either a COVID patient do have the same symptoms like cough, dry cough, then they have chest pain. And if patient is recovered, and suddenly again there's a increase in the same symptoms, chest pain, breathlessness, cough, collection of water inside the lungs, one has to look at it. And fever, so one has to look at it.
And what is the treatment?
And the most important thing, have a very high degree of suspicion.
Yes.
And the people who can diagnose it, because it occurs in this area, the ear, nose, and throat specialist. They are the best one to diagnose it. And one can do MRI to check it out in case. MRI is a very, very effective in picking up this disease.
And what is the course of treatment once detected, doctor?
The one will be surgical removal of the black fungus, and then there's only one antifungal antibiotics available. It's called liposomal amphotericin B. And the dose, etc., depends on the severity of disease and the patient's other general condition that the treating doctor has to decide how often to be given that medicine.
Doctor, does India have, India does have a history of over-treatment or over-medication. And specifically, we know when it came to COVID, there was a very liberal use of drugs and antivirals across the country, sometimes in cases that was not even needed. How could we possibly, and now this is from what we understand, partly causing black fungus as well. How do we bring this under control? How can doctors all over the country be told to exercise restraint and caution?
Three things. Number one, they have to exercise, they have to understand steroid is not the treatment for COVID. It is a treatment for the effects of COVID because the body reacts to the COVID, the coronavirus in a way, and this steroid mitigates some of those side effects. And that also you don't have to give it to every patient. There's a very, very clear-cut indication. They have to be very strict in use of steroid. Number two, unfortunately, we have got a very huge diabetic population. So make sure that the sugar is extremely well controlled. Third thing is, again, every patient doesn't need the medication that is liberally given to every patient. Today, at least, first few months, we did not know. At the end of more than 1 year, there's fairly clear-cut guidelines have come in about how to treat this COVID. And they should strictly follow, rather than just indiscriminately using this. And very important, especially all ICU environment, they must make sure the oxygen delivery is as sterile, as clean as possible. That's very, very important.
So just to recap, so to make sure we've understood this correctly for the people watching at home, there are two brackets of advice here. One is if you have a loved one who has been on oxygen at any point during their COVID treatment and has now recovered and has come home, watch out for the symptoms that doctor talked about, which is pain in the general facial area where the oxygen has been brought in, between the eyes, swelling in the face at all, and B, almost obsessively cautionary as far as this is concerned, because the earlier you catch it, the easier it is to treat, or the better it is to treat. The second bracket is those people who are currently on oxygen and currently being treated for COVID. Be again obsessive about the cleanliness, about the use of sterile water, the kind of apparatus that is used to deliver the oxygen to your loved one. Make sure that the blood sugar levels are being checked as often as possible. Ask on a regular basis, what was the blood sugar level today? When are you going to check again? Because a lot of times we have complaints from family members who are not given information once their loved ones are in ICU. You can't go and visit. So you have to constantly access that information on the phone. So these are a couple of things to check for regularly. Dr. Panna, thank you so much for answering that question. But is there any other advice you want to give people right now? Those who have recovered, those who are at home, any word of caution that you want to give the Indian public about this terrible healthcare emergency that we're currently in the middle of?
I think I'll advise everybody to lead a healthy life. Because see, two things. One, this virus, COVID, is happening because one is body's reaction, other one is body's immunity also. Now, best thing is to build up body's immunity by doing regular exercise. I'm talking people who don't have COVID or who are recovering. Obviously, they have to take time to do exercise, but get good sleep, do yoga to reduce stress and improve body's immunity, and take some of the supplements which have been shown to be effective, like vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, B complex. These things have shown to give some amount of protection, improve body's resistance or immunity. So do those things, and those who do not have it, again, strongly advise, please follow COVID appropriate behavior, which is double masking, physical distance, and frequent washing of hands.
All right. Dr. Panda, it has been a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for the service that you and your team are doing for the country right now. And I wish you very good luck and good health.
Thank you for having me in also. I really appreciate it.